Hello everyone. Welcome to Pisces Horoscope, presented by Signs of the Stars. All zodiac signs have their unique flavor of darkness, but nothing comes close to the unique, deep, and mystical darkness of Pisces. You may be thinking, how can this be? Pisces are all about kindness, unconditional love, and self-sacrifice, and you aren't wrong. But you also have to remember that astrology wants us to understand the principle of oppositions. So the bigger the light, the greater the shadow. As a water sign, Pisces deals primarily with the realm of feeling. And you may say, well, that is a beautiful thing. We need more feeling in the world, and that is true. But Pisces don't favor a feeling over another. They are interested in the whole range of human emotions. So they will find it fascinating to experience emotional pain as much as they enjoy pleasure. Yes, earth signs can be very dark because of their materialistic tendencies. Fire signs can be dark because of their cruelty. And of course, air signs can be equally dark because of their silver tongues. There is nothing quite like a dark encounter with a water sign. Haunting, otherworldly, and splitting. Here's 10 reasons why Pisces is the darkest zodiac sign. Number 10. Confusion is their nature. Ruled by Neptune, Pisces have confusion woven in their very fabric. They are confusing to others, confusing to themselves, intentionally or unintentionally. In ancient Roman mythology, Neptune was the god of the seas. He was in charge of ruling the oceans of the planet, their inhabitants, and their mysterious depths. In the last 2,000 years, technological advancements helped us learn a lot more about the depths of the oceans. Yet, they still remain the most unexplored part of our planet. Just imagine how much awe, fear, and fascination surrounded these uncharted territories in ancient times. In astrology, Neptune represents psychic abilities, dreams, the collective unconscious, illusion, mental illness, spirituality, addiction, and escapism. Because Neptune is the last outer planet of our solar system, it can also be interpreted as cold, distant, and disconnected. Because it is so otherworldly, Neptune's influence can feel like divine intervention, but it can also be very disruptive and chaotic. So under this planetary influence, Pisces love to tell themselves and others stories of parallel realities in often crafty, intuitive, and artful ways. They love it so much that they themselves often lose track of what is real and what isn't out of love for a certain fantasy. At first, they will keep you listening to them for hours, enchanted by their mind. But sooner than later, you will realize that something just doesn't feel right, and you will realize that you are now walking deep in their mental maze. Trying to confront and bring them back to reality will most probably have you encounter an avoidance strategy, and of course, more stories. Number 9. Never fully hear. As the last sign of the zodiac, Pisces is naturally associated with endings. No, not in the same sense as Scorpio. This is a different kind of ending. Instead of the Scorpio death, you're dealing with Pisces' end of the world. Pisces represent and revel in the energy of an end of all beings and things, and end of all. Pisces closes the zodiac wheel, marking the life's journey. Symbolically, this represents the ending of life, of a species, of an age, and ultimately the end of the universe. While we all know theoretically that everything must come to an end, Pisces can actually connect with that. The glyph of Pisces is represented by two fish that swim in different directions. This represents the unconscious tendencies that often lead to contradicting needs and emotions. So while Pisces has a natural understanding and affinity for endings and apocalyptic scenarios, they are equally bad at ending real-life things. They abandon situations and people without a proper explanation. In their mind, it should be obvious to everyone involved that closure is simply not spiritual enough. A simple, evasive answer should be satisfying. Don't be fooled, as this is a strategy that will keep the door open for when they decide to return. Number 8. Addiction. As we mentioned previously, Neptune, ruler of Pisces, embodies addiction. Pisces will naturally seek out altered states of consciousness. They enter states of trance easily and are naturally receptive to hypnotic suggestion. While there's nothing wrong with being interested in the vast possibilities of one's consciousness, it should never serve as a justification for self-destruction. Reality isn't the place where Pisces like to spend their time. They tend to romanticize addiction in all its forms, be it addiction to drugs, video games, love, sex, or gambling. Pisces will find a way to see it as glamorous. Now, before we continue with the countdown, we have a special treat for you. Unlock your psychic powers. Many go through life not using the powers that has been gifted to them. Most don't even know where to go to learn how to use these powers. Click the link below in the video description to join the Psychic School and take your free course that will help you unleash your true powerful self. Gain the power to understand dreams and outer body experiences. Gain the power of awareness of the spirits around you, and even talk to them. Learn the power to access your past life. Learn the power to do readings for yourself and others. Small disclaimer: these powers are not meant for use of evil purposes, so if you intend to use these gifts for evil or to harm others, then this message is not for you. But all others, click the link below in the video description to join the Psychic School for your free course and become your true powerful self. Now, back to the countdown. Number 7. Predisposed to mental health issues. Pisces is associated with the 12-inch house that rules self-undoing. Under this vast and dark label, we can find a predisposition and fascination for mental illness. Pisces people are almost impossible to break, as they can always retreat from reality to avoid dealing with their trauma. With this strength of flexibility, Pisces' psyche is also frail. Pisces people are very open to all emotional, physical, and physic influences. They naturally pick up and absorb the energy of things, people, places, and entities without being aware of it. They want to save, understand, and comfort every living thing, so they will start by being very affected by the issues in their families. Later on, they will connect with the underdogs, the troubled, and the abusive. Pisces see people with mental illness are gifted and misunderstood. They feel that society is trying to oppress and medicate them out of fear. So, Pisces apply the same reasoning on themselves while trying to self-medicate and treat their suffering through unconventional means. While there is nothing wrong with choosing one's own path, it is important to be realistic about the dangers, limitations, and consequences of these decisions. Number 6. Toxic contradictions. As humans, we are naturally designed to find patterns in all things. This helps us adapt, make sense of the world, save time and energy in all our decisions. Contradictions and paradoxes don't sit well with our cognition, but Pisces are magnetically drawn to contradictory things. They love to observe and contemplate what is hard to grasp or explain. This shows a lot of spiritual understanding and wisdom, but Pisces are great at turning this into compulsion. They let their paradoxical nature shine through in unfiltered ways. They don't always aim to confuse others intentionally, but it is always pleasurable for them to remain elusive, mysterious, and complicated. Natives sometimes aim to prove that they can't be truly tamed or understood, while other times they display an antisocial level of disregard for other people. If confronted, they will reveal that they are simply going with the flow, and that it is other people who are needy and controlling. Number 5. Antisocial. Of course, not all Pisces people suffer with antisocial personality disorder, but among the natives of this sign, many have traits of this condition. With a disregard for rules, a lack of consideration for social norms, comes a tendency to break the law. While rarely falling under the stereotype of the callous, violent offender, the antisocial person will benefit from the perks of an organized system, but will fail to honor responsibilities and duties because they feel they are simply above all that. When confronted, they will offer a free lecture of how unspiritual this is. Number 4. No sign as promiscuous as Pisces. Many will point towards Scorpio when thinking of the most sexual sign, and this isn't wrong, but Scorpio ultimately wants to strip things to their bare essence. Scorpio wants true and deep intimacy. Pisces, on the other hand, isn't very keen on this intense one-on-one form of intimacy. Pisces wants to belong and be free at the same time. Pisces seeks romance while being unable to find any meaning in it. Pisces wants a fairy tale life while thinking it's the most boring thing ever. They crave intimacy while the reality of it can make them incredibly uncomfortable. So, Pisces will find refuge in having multiple partners. They will go for the unavailable. They will create complicated and toxic intimate lives. The more shocking and unusual their personal lives, the more at peace they can feel. This is because they have an easier time seeing the flip sides of any situation. When in good place, they always hear everything that can go wrong with deafening clarity. Pisces will seek the most troubling scenarios for their personal lives because this is where they paradoxically connect with hope, purity, and peace of mind. When confronted, they will have you reconsider all of your memories and perceptions. Number 3, controlling. Seemingly the most easygoing and laid-back of signs, Pisces comes across as the person listener, the least judgmental and the most selfless. But behind of these elements, there is a much darker agenda. Pisces will create this harmless image and let others believe they can do no wrong. Soon, people around them forget that they must have comments, needs, wants, and judgments. It is in this moment Pisces realizes the person is under their spell, so they can easily start suggesting and influencing the person at their heart's desire. While falling deeper and deeper under their influence, the person will most often feel they are experiencing the most wonderful connection of their life. They will idealize Pisces until they get a rude and dramatic awakening. If subtle influence stops working, Pisces will often resort to playing the victim. Number 2, violent outbreaks. Don't let the peace-longing and delicate ways fool you. Pisces are far from harmless. Other signs also manifest aggression and violence, but what makes Pisces darker and more dangerous is the element of surprise. While some natives are open and aware of this side of their personality, most consider it acceptable, so much that they keep it a secret to the extent of developing selective memory. They'd much rather be seen as victims, not abusers, so they do their best to maintain that image. When confronted, they will invoke any and every reason from amnesia to victim blaming in order to convince that they are incapable of hurting anyone. Number 1, manipulation. From harmless influence to cult leader techniques, Pisces masters manipulation. Their dull nature makes them evasive. It's uncomfortable for them to be clear. They would much rather swim around a subject until someone catches a hint. It's easy for them to manipulate because they contain the energy and lessons of all the other signs. When meeting someone, they intuitively know how to approach that person and how to make themselves liked. They feel what others need, want, fear, and suffer from. This helps them embody the right energy that will help them trigger the desired emotional reaction. When confronted, they will usually become aggravated or dismissive. Have you ever gotten a glance at this side of Pisces? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked this video, share it with as many people as you can so others can see it too.